Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about how I'm feeling about my 7900 XT after buying the 7900 XTX. Now, this video has been, kind of a long time coming. Just trying to, work myself through the product stack of AMD. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I never intended to go as high as the XTX, but having a 4080 Super, I wanted that power from AMD. I did. Like I was starting to get to a point where I was like, gosh, man, this 4080 Super is doing pretty good. I really like the extra power that the 4080 Super is giving me. I want that from my AMD experience. So I bought the 7900 XTX. Now I want to, kind of talk about how the 7900 XT has literally been the backbone of my love for AMD for over the last year. I love the way the 7900 XT performs. I love the way it makes my games look. I love the feature set that I can get in there and change and play around with. Now, a lot of people give me a lot of flack for that. They act like NVIDIA is just this like overbearing experience that you just can't get enough of. And guys, every time I've got the 4080 Super in there, I'm literally just wishing that I had one of my AMD cards in. That's I'm not even joking. That's literally the way I feel when it comes to having the NVIDIA cards in there. I just don't care about them enough like a lot of other people do. I prefer the AMD side of things. So when I bought this 7900 XTX the other week, I think it's almost 2 weeks now. Monday will be 2 weeks, or yeah, Tuesday will be 2 weeks. When I bought the 7900 XTX, I literally expected that card to pretty much be as good as the 78 or the 4080 Super, and now I find myself with an experience that, guys, I think it really just falls down to the type of games that I play. I like the open world games, and I just feel that the 7900 XTX delivers a better experience for those. I like it more. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like my colors look better. I feel like my visuals look better, and I don't know. I've got this expensive camera. We're gonna try to see if there's any way that I can figure out a way to show you guys the difference, but this is a learning curve for me. Learning how to use this this FX30 has been quite challenging. But when I think about the experience that I have on AMD, or the experience that I've had with AMD, and now I have the top of the line AMD card, the 7900 XTX. I look at my 7900 XT and I'm like, gosh dang, do I still really need that card? But I mean, here's the thing, the price range for the 7900 XT is so affordable right now, and so much bang for your buck, that it kind of remains relevant for something that I should be able to put back in the PC and run and test games, new games when they come out, and get information for people. But at the same time, guys, I want to just be able to sit back and fully enjoy the 7900 XTX experience, and I want to be able to, if I'm going to swap out a card, just have to grab for the, the 4080 Super and swap it out for like them ray tracing games or whatever. And I kind of like having the top AMD experience, and I kind of like having the second to top, the second to best NVIDIA experience. And I like the fact that they're so similar. And this is honest, guys. I like the fact that they're so similar in power. And I like the fact that the 4080 Super does some things better because it gives me a reason to need to use it. And then I love the fact that the 7900 XTX does things a little bit better, so that, I can keep that, and still be like, oh yeah, I love my AMD experience. Because the truth is, guys, I don't want one of them to be significantly better than the other. I really don't. And I know a lot of people out there are like, oh, they just want that one GPU to rule them all. But unfortunately, just like consoles, I don't think that's ever going to be the case. There's always going to be a deliberate reason to buy an AMD GPU, and there will always be a deliberate reason to buy an NVIDIA GPU. And that is that's the conclusion that I've literally come to over the last couple of years of playing on PC. Now, both of them have their strengths, both of them have their weaknesses. A lot of people, I kind of feel a lot of people give way too much credit to NVIDIA for like the newer features that are coming out, because I mean, if we're being honest, if we're being honest as gamers and PC tech enthusiasts, the features that NVIDIA brings to the table, they do tend to be more of that. I want to say it feels like a beta, like they feel like they're in beta. Honestly, if you want my opinion, like if you go through the whole freaking NVIDIA stack of cards, I would say more than 70% literally feels like those features are still in beta. But I mean, and that's being realistic. That's giving, NVIDIA top users, like the 4070 Super, 4070 or 4070 Ti, 4070 Ti Super, well, man, I don't even know if I'd really put the 4070 Ti in there. Maybe I think I'll start 4070 Ti Super up. Any of those cards up probably give you one heck of an experience. Now, I mean, that 4070 Super was good, and it did give me a taste, and but I feel like with the other cards you could drop down a resolution. I mean, I guess you could drop down to 1080p on a 4070 Super, but let's be honest, nobody's dropping past 1440p. If you're there for the visuals and the graphics and all of that stuff, you're probably not dropping down very far to use those features. And with AMD, obviously, if they're a beta feature on the card that created them, they're pretty much a beta feature or a taste on the AMD experience when it comes to ray tracing and stuff. So I mean, those technologies aside, those don't really matter. But when you start getting into like something like DLSS, now DLSS is a very important tool for the NVIDIA side. Very important because of the 4K craze. If the 4K craze was not there, nobody would care. Like, I don't think NVIDIA would be as powerful as they are right now in terms of mind share and stuff like that. 4K has really helped NVIDIA kind of cement that lead, because DLSS on 4K, that pleases a lot of people. It does. It pleases a lot of people. But if we were still talking about 1440p and what AMD's bringing to the table, I kind of feel like AMD would be reigning supreme right now, because 1440p is very easily achievable now. I mean, even with entry-level GPUs, the 4K thing is still very, very heavy. You still need a lot of power to run that stuff, and you absolutely need upscaling a lot more than you would. Like, you very rarely need upscaling at 1440p, whereas you almost always need it pretty much on like 4K. I mean, there's definitely like older games that you can run easily at 4K, so I mean, it is 4K to a sense, but like some of the newer stuff, almost all Unreal Engine 5 games, you always like you generally need DLSS or FSR or XeSS or any of that stuff to try to run these games at 4K. So if it wasn't for the amazing DLSS that makes the image quality look good on 4K for some of these games, I don't think that NVIDIA would reign as supreme. And the fact that like even NVIDIA's lower cards can run DLSS and still give you a convincing experience at 4K, that kind of makes NVIDIA, like, that kind of puts them in like a class of their own. But let's be honest, let's be real, like AMD can use FSR and XeSS and still produce a decent quality image at 4K. But if we really look at it, if we honestly really look at it, the image quality, gosh, unless you're like really looking for it, especially with FSR 3.1, man, it's very hard to see. I struggle to find it, unless I'm really looking for it, to be completely honest with you. But yes, NVIDIA clearly runs supreme with DLSS, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But when it comes to like the 7900 XT, my friends, when it comes, I need to bring it back to like the original part of this video. I kind of get a little carried away, and eventually I'll get a Elgato, whatchamacallit, what are those things where teleprompter or something. Maybe I'll get one of those and start writing scripts. But when it comes to like what the 7900 XT can do, I've always been very happy with that card. I've always been very happy with that card. When it comes to what the 7900 XTX can do, it delivers way more of that AMD experience with just more room. Just more room. I just feel like it is a super robust 7900 XT experience, and that there really makes me happy. So I'm probably going to go ahead and sell the 7900 XT. I just wanted you guys to hear it first. I'm probably going to go ahead and sell that. I haven't really thought about it too much yet. I'm going to get in touch with my PC friend on Monday, and I'll probably end up selling that one and keeping the XTX. Obviously, the XTX is an absolute monster, so I don't need the 7900 XT. It really is just going to sit there on a shelf, and that's money sitting on the shelf, and I would rather invest that money into maybe new lenses or other gear for the channel. So yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. I would sell it to somebody on the channel, but it's one of those things where I've already got a deal in place with a friend of mine that he gets first dibs. If he doesn't want it, then maybe I'll consider putting it up, on the channel or like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. But I don't have time to go through a bunch of hassle and all that stuff. So usually I give him first dibs. If he doesn't want it, then we will talk other things. But he usually takes everything, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, guys, so I've decided to go ahead and sell the 7900 XT and move on. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.